All right. Before we get the show started, first we want to introduce our new partner to the FearFishing webcast, simplefishing.ca, the Canadian tackle subscription. They got elite bass box, elite pike boxes, elite multi-species boxes, elite walleye boxes, and the best part is you get fishing tackle sent to your house. And like I said before, it's Canadian. Use discount code at checkout, FearFishing, to save $10 on your first box. We will get into this more in 1 minute, but let's get this started. Here we go, folks. It's another Monday,
with
8
another
p.m. with another
start.
Man, that opening does not want to work ever. Hold on, I never even got a chance to flip my hat over. Amber's headphones are too small with the wearing my hat frontwards. But we are here. We're excited. Mark, you're back.
I am.
How's it going, homie?
Good, man. Look at me. All baby faced up for summer.
You got shaved for summer?
Yeah, I did, man.
Mr. McCall, how's it going?
Sean hates my...
I do. I don't like it at all.
Really? You've trimmed down.
Yeah, I trimmed down, but I didn't trim off.
Where's Sean? There
There
he
he
is.
is.
I'm like
There he is.
straight up beard life over here.
You
Oh,
are
wow.
in the
Wow.
beard
Sure.
life game.
I just can't compete with that, you know?
No.
RLM Elite, new partner to the FearFishing webcast.
Yeah,
Awesome.
super pumped about this.
Super
man.
pumped, man. You got a
Super
ton of
pumped.
notes. Yes, here we
Super
go.
pumped.
It's a Canadian subscription box. We
Yes,
opened
sir.
one a couple weeks ago. This was like, pass me that. We can open
It's
it
not
up.
just a Canadian subscription box. This is like a small company.
That's right. And you
Right.
know what? It's Canadian, but you can order it in the States. I made sure of that. There's all kinds. Like every second month. This subscription box is not every month. It's every second month. So you're not like overwhelmed with product and price. You spread it out a little.
Well, do you know why they go every 2 months?
Hey, you tell me. You got the notes.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because they find that getting a box every month, the angler doesn't get to use all the baits. He's still piling up his baits from last month and the month
makes
before,
sense.
and they don't get enough time. So they like to go every 2 months,
We
so you
should
have
take
enough
that pike
time.
fishing. I'm taking it tomorrow.
Hey, whoa! Put that, we got a rocks, paper, scissors.
No, I'm taking that tomorrow. Pike
No,
will
but
I'll
like
be
that.
working.
They like to go every 2 months, so you have enough time to go through all the boxes. These guys have more hard baits available in this box than any other subscription box out there.
You know, I've been looking at that box, and you know what? I'm damn impressed, man. That's some quality stuff in there,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Look at that. That's a Lucky Craft right there.
Lucky
I'll
Craft.
throw that in a heartbeat.
I knew it. I knew it.
You know, these guys got 18 Canadian companies, right? I think it's 22 American companies, and they deal with a couple companies overseas. So there's no shortage of baits going into these boxes. And like I said, they got more hard baits than any other box out
Are those
there.
worms?
No.
I caught fish in Texas on those, eh? Carolina Reagan.
These are
I did.
flukes. These are flukes. Smart baits.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they change
Pike will
color and
bite
stuff. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
they
use
will.
them.
You should probably bring those. That pike will bite that too.
Yeah, the old
Man, I didn't go
chatterbait.
deep enough.
Yeah, even comes
Wow.
with the trailer.
Perch color too,
telling
eh?
ya.
Incredible. So you said that there's multi-species boxes, too.
Multi-species.
It's just not...
It's not just
Just
bass.
not bass. Oh,
If you're
that's
not a
awesome.
bass guy, then there's pike boxes,
Yep.
there's walleye boxes,
Yep.
and there's a multi-species box where you get like a mix of everything.
So how does it work? You just say, okay, I'm interested in pike only, and you get a pike box every 2
Yeah,
months?
If you're a pike guy,
That's awesome.
yeah,
I think it's pretty
That's
cool.
what-
you're not
that's wicked.
pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wicked.
And the other thing too is the owners are amazing people. That was my big decision here.
Yeah, young couple. You know, they got a couple of young kids, 2 really young kids. The guy's a coal miner
By day,
day. So
working
you know
hard.
he's a hard worker.
He's working hard.
I bet she's got a better beard than you
Super
do.
nice. I did a ton of chatting with Scott before we
Scott Sibley.
before we did this. This took weeks and weeks and weeks of chatting back and forth, and he's a super nice guy. And you know, just like the great people at Daiwa Canada,
Right.
we're here to work with good people.
That's right.
And for the when we
Good
tell
fit.
you to order your subscription box from RLM, I know I'm going to sleep at night knowing that you're gonna be happy.
Oh yeah, for sure. We wouldn't
No.
We would use all this stuff in here. We actually have some boxes of these coming for us to use. We're happy with the product.
For sure. We get
Right.
all kinds of offers of people who want to, work with us. And if we don't like your product, it's not happening.
That's got to be a good
That's
fit
right.
for us,
It's
right?
you got to. It's important. The only thing we can't get back is our namesake.
That's right.
That's
and
right.
I think
Yeah.
everybody knows that we are brutally honest here at Fear Fishing.
Yeah, we are.
So
Yeah,
if we're saying it's good, it's good.
So we did come to the partnership at the last minute, so they weren't able to send us an our own box for this podcast. But we'll have one to open for now on after this.
Oh yeah.
Every show we're going to do a box?
Yeah. Unless I
awesome.
get greedy and need some baits, and then I open one.
Okay, can
Do
you please,
you
Scott, can you please
guys-
ship that to
Whoa.
my house?
Do you guys know why the box size is different than every other box?
Well, this box size here, it's 12 inches, right? 12 inches by 7 inches by 2.5 inches. Right now.
Why, Sean?
Well, they
Why?
wanted to incorporate this fancy dancy handle on it. So let me close.
It's
the
like a
box.
tackle box.
Yeah, basically.
You know what? You could sell all your tackle boxes and just carry around that.
Right.
And you wouldn't leave a carbon footprint because that's biodegradable.
That's right. You can save these boxes,
Boom.
put lunches in them.
Wrap up your Mother's
What
Day
we're gonna
present.
do-
Also, another big thing is one of the companies they deal with. They have an 11-inch hard bait,
Yes.
and they want that bait to fit in this box. So that was a big key for them there.
And they're
And-
going to equip the box with a 12-inch ruler.
Yes, they are.
What?
Hey, nice.
I won't need that. I don't weigh in 12-inch fish. Not all the time. Okay, empty that box right now. We're going to get to this halfway through the show. These are the entries for the Fear Fishing Daiwa
The handwritten entries.
contest. Yes, I wrote each
How
of
long did
these
that
out.
take you, big guy?
Like an hour. Well, it took me longer than an hour because I did a lot of procrastinating. And I did. I actually went on Facebook Live, and then I looked through the Daiwa catalog about 4 times.
Yeah.
I talked to the dogs for a bit.
I've been going through the Daiwa catalog there. They've been bugging me to get my order in, and man, there's a lot of good stuff.
There is,
It's
man.
hard to pick.
It's hard to pick.
It's hard to pick.
Okay, empty those stickers. Which one of you two is going to draw the name? We're going to do this halfway
We're
somewhere.
gonna Rochambeau for that.
I'm not. There's no way.
Rochambeau.
Yeah, Rochambeau. Yeah, I
Here
go
we go.
first.
We're going to pour.
What?
We're gonna Rochambeau. I
What's
go
a
first.
Look at all those
What's
entries.
a Rochambeau?
There's nothing
You
like
don't know how.
Is that one? Is that
you
a
never played
cheese thing?
Rochambeau?
Is that cheese thing that you dip
No,
bread in?
no,
And
no. We stand 2 feet apart from each other,
Yeah.
and you stand with your feet shoulder width apart.
Okay.
And the first guy kicks the other guy in the nuts, and then that guy gets to go. The last guy standing gets to pick the name. Don't look at me like that. We're playing.
Well, I would have brought my nuts. They're at my wife's. They're in her purse. I didn't know we were playing a game.
Yeah.
Before we get started into everything tonight, make sure you hit that share button. Help us out.
Yep.
Spread the word about Fear Fishing. Hit the share button and get your questions in. Amber will read out some of the questions throughout the show. Where do you guys want to start off?
Let's start off at
Straighter. Wesley
On
Strader
fire.
went back to back. Won a Bassmaster Elite series event, and then the next weekend won an Open.
Talk about being on a roll.
So now he's qualified twice for the classic.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know if you qualify for
Yep.
being a Bass. Do you?
Yep. The
Are you
open,
sure?
I'm pretty sure.
On
the
the
open
Opens
gets
you
in.
do 100%. I don't
Right
think
here.
an Elite Series win gets you directly to the Classic. I think
Well,
it
it
just gets you
should.
the points.
Oh no, to the classic? No,
No,
but I think
get
it
your points.
qualifies you for the Elite Series for the following year.
That would make sense.
Nice.
I would. Somebody out there who knows more about this.
The
than me can-
logistics.
Look at this. I got to get this microphone so you guys can see my face at home. I worked hard on my
Who
tan
wants
to
to
share
do
with you
that?
people. Well, Strader's on a roll.
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable.
Deadly. And he's one of the nicest guys. I saw a post by Brandon Polinick, and Brandon went over to congratulate him, and Strader asked him if he could take a selfie with him.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
That's
Like,
super cool.
that is super. This is his rookie year. Last year he fished the FLW.
Not his rookie year fishing though.
Not his
No,
like
no,
let's
no.
get
season
real,
veteran.
This guy's been fishing forever, right?
But another one who jumped from FLW to the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Yes.
Very important
Yes.
to note the big
Talking
names.
about fans and being starstruck, didn't something happen to you
That's
the other day?
Who?
Didn't you have a fan approach?
Did you really?
What?
Let's hear it.
Somebody recognized me. Just
Yeah?
Where?
come
Tell
up
me.
and-
Where?
I was up.
You
in
didn't tell me
Caucasian.
this?
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Man, if you can recognize me and come, I'll take a picture with you
Yeah.
on my phone. That's how I'm excited.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I like it when people come up and want to
I
talk
do too.
fishing and
Yeah.
talk hunting, and I've got all the time in the world for that. I'll never blow anybody off. I
Well,
love it when people talk.
This is a great segue into people coming up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday morning was walleye opener on Zone 17 here in Ontario.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good morning.
We had a dynamite morning.
Caught a lot of fish.
I was working.
You caught a lot of fish. I caught some fish.
I am like a ninja at the vertical jigging walleye. I'm you know who's better than me though? Marley. Marley, if we, the three of us went, Marley would destroy me.
I would have been on the back crying, bro.
Remind you of bass season.
He's like dialed right in. He's a ninja of most things that are technical and difficult.
Well, you gotta
So
be focused.
here's the deal.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We launched the boat. I'm a, you know what? We should talk about this too. I'm a nervous wreck filming these vlogs until somebody catches a fish. Like I get the butterflies and the oh my gods, and I couldn't sleep the night before because I was so worried.
Well, this is a one take deal. This
that's
is
right.
everything.
Yeah. We're not filming. You're not filming a show for 3 weeks.
No,
I get
no. A day is a day, man. You get what you get.
You get up in the morning
You
and
see the
like,
hardships.
I've never retook. I've never even got halfway through a day and been like, no, it can't show this. It's real. Like as real as it possibly could get.
Yeah.
I've had 100 days where I was like, oh my God, I can't, like pike fishing. I thought we were done. And then we found them in 100-yard strike.
I knew we wouldn't be done pike
It's a
fishing.
good thing
I like
somebody
pike
did.
fishing.
Yeah.
We just had
But
to find
so
them.
Saturday morning, a little nervous, hitting the lake. We're going into the Otonabee River. Picture this, folks. I have a 21-foot Stratus bass boat with a 225-pound engine. I'm doing maybe 32 miles an hour, following two smaller tin boats into the river. They weren't like small boats; they were like 17-footers with 50s or
40,
60s.
yeah, 40,
they
one
were,
had a 41.
they
and
were
a 50, I
moving
think.
faster than me, right? So I'm following them in, and
there's boats everywhere.
There's boats everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I got her as slow as it'll possibly go, for it won't lay down. Like it was doing the bounce, and I'd have to give her a bit of a jolt to keep her up. And anybody who has not driven a bass boat, they don't handle like a tin boat. They're big.
No.
They're heavy. They don't want to run at 32 miles an hour. They want to run at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, they do.
right? And they don't particularly turn very well at 30 miles an hour.
No.
They want to turn at 70 miles an hour. So we're going in the river, and I was going to follow those guys all the way up, right? They decided to slam the brakes on in the middle of the river.
Wow.
And there's boats up both
Everywhere.
sides of the river.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we have a hole. When we passed these guys, we were 20 feet away from them.
Well, that's the thing, too. They slam the brakes on, and those little light aluminum boats stop. My big bass boat isn't going to stop. Like, there's no brakes in that thing.
No.
So I give her a little bit of gas for I can get it, make sure it's good and safe, and I can get the arse end of her up so that if I do hit into the trees, because it's not very wide, that river, that we're going to be fine. We're going to get up over the tree branches, up the river, stop, and catch some fish. Well, the one gentleman took offense to this in some big way and came over and lost his marbles on me.
Wow.
Well, he could have come over and said, "Hey guys, listen. Hey."
And I would explain the situation because he'd obviously never driven a big bass boat before.
Yeah, he could have come over and just had a nice conversation. Right?
Yeah,
And,
maybe you're a little close,
'cause
guys.
If you approach me with respect, I'm going to give you all the respect in the world back.
Yep.
But if you come up to me hot and heavy, buddy,
You're
we're
good.
dancing.
Yep.
Yeah. You're not getting the good morning, how are you?
You let
No.
them set the tone.
No,
Yeah, for
exactly,
sure.
100%.
All he's trying to do is not kill them.
And I was tying up. Like, I was tying up. We just sat down.
I pulled the trolling motor.
Yeah, he just dropped trolling motor. I'm tying up. And this guy come over and he started yipping, and I just sat there all quiet. And I just waited. And Ian was like, "Hey, buddy, listen. Do you think we got brakes? You just stop in the middle of the river? Like, there's bolts everywhere.
We want to do.
You look behind you at least before you go to slow down. Maybe pull off to the side.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's open in the morning. Of course there's going to be
Take
boat
a
traffic,
look back.
right?
Yeah.
And we weren't in like a 10K zone or anything.
No.
Like nothing. Like we were just driving on a lake.
Yeah.
So anyway, he went nuts. We, and then we caught fish in front of him.
Oh, we hammered them all around. We hammered
So-
them. And the last fish, we had a double right beside him. Like 10
And then we
feet
went to
off
the
him.
next hole.
Boom, double, and then we're out of there.
Yeah.
Like, lit them up. And they were getting snagged and fighting with each
Fighting
other.
logs,
and,
yeah.
you know,
Good.
Yeah. So we got it done. We caught some fish. Saturday was really good. I was really happy as soon as we started like really getting them. I started feeling a lot better, and then we just laid the smack down.
Hey, I watched the vlog, you know, and you said, "Oh, yeah, we didn't do too good last week. I had Mark Hunter with me. Now I'm bringing the big gun." What is with that? Do you want to explain what you meant by that?
It's pretty self-explanatory.
I'm not sure what you want me to say. You let me down the Saturday before. Sean came through pike fishing.
Oh, God.
And we had to make it happen on
Pike
Saturday
fishing.
morning.
Hey, didn't I take you crappie fishing? Didn't we catch some crappies?
Yeah, we did a good crappie fishing. We'll get into that.
See?
Pike fishing. That was
Man, we had
day.
a good day pike fishing.
Oh,
I was working.
my God, we pummeled the pike. Like big pike, we found them in like a back channel in a deep hole that was 100 feet
And it
long.
took us a couple hours to find them, right?
Hours.
It took us like probably 2.5, 3 hours to
And
find
right
them.
at the end, I was like,
I would
we
have found
should-
him in 15 minutes.
Yeah. I was like, we should check back here. Sean stood in the front of the boat. We actually got my boat hung up on a log.
Did you?
On
Oh,
the
yeah.
way out,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
She was hairy. We got in there, pounded fish, caught a pile of them. Sean hooked me in the leg.
I
I was worried,
I was
man.
working a jerkbait.
I was worried too.
I
was
forgot
working
you
a
guys were
jerkbait.
together, right? I thought you were out there by yourself,
No.
bleeding out or something.
No.
I offered to throw my cape on and come
Not
out
this
for
time.
a
You
rescue.
did too.
So,
Yeah.
Sean, I seen him lift his leg, and I heard it hit mine, right? And it didn't hurt. I didn't feel it go in.
And if you watch the video too, that thing was moving. Like it came. Like
well,
I got
yeah.
reflexes like a cat. Right.
So
I'm like, "Whoa!"
I reach down, right, and I get a hold of it, and I give it a little pull, and I'm like, oh
No.
And then I gave her a little bigger pull, and I was like, oh no. So, but I had jeans on, and you couldn't roll the panel leg up enough to see how far it had gone in, right? So I did what any good vlogger would do, and I got the camera.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We got to get this on film. he
Yeah.
says.
So I'm attached to Sean's
Yeah, we
line.
do.
I
If I'm
got,
gonna pass out.
I dug the camera out, and we got the rustiest pair of pliers in the whole world.
Yeah, your pliers suck. I can't even get my fingers in the holes of his pliers. I'm like, Ian, give me your pliers.
What pliers can you get those fingers in,
Shut
buddy?
up. Shut up.
So he latches onto it, and I hadn't let him touch
got
it up to this
garden
point.
shears
I hadn't
for-
let him touch it, and it wasn't hurting yet, right? So I thought it's got to be in there pretty good and pretty clean. It was an expensive jerkbait, so it had a good set of hooks on it. And he reached in with the pliers, and it's on film. And he wanted to talk. Do you know what I mean? Like a good friend would reach in there and just pull it without you noticing. He
Yeah.
gets it. I feel him latch on, give it a little pull to see how deep we're talking, and then I'm like, he's like, "Are you ready?" Of course I'm not ready.
It was in there, man. Oh, it was in there. It was buried.
So Sean was kind enough to just, give me the old 1, 2, 3 and let her rip.
Wow.
Yeah, we counted her down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it. 1, 2, 3. Wait.
There's nothing
pull.
like the pop of a hook coming.
There's
in the flush.
nothing like, man, I've never had one that deep, but the whole "Are you ready?" I thought was the stupidest question in the whole world.
My
But
God.
it's
You
not
know,
like-
you should sell all your jerk baits, because if you were throwing a jerk bait, it's going into somebody. If it's your butt or his leg or
You got a good
last
one
year,
last
You're
year.
dangerous.
Yeah, I had the one it stuck both my legs together, and then I got it out. Then I sat down and I got one in the ass. It was-
So that's 3 jerk baits in 5 minutes.
Did
yeah.
you just
2
grip
jerk
and rip
baits in
that
5
one?
minutes. Eh?
Did
But
you
3
grip
hooks
it
in
and
5
rip it
minutes.
that one?
Did I which?
Grip it and rip it on that one? Did you just pull straight
Well,
up?
no, the one I had to stick through because it was buried in my
Oh.
leg. I stuck it. I cut my pants a little bit, stuck it through.
I was worried about my skinny jeans.
My skin.
Honest to God. Well, I was wearing like a $140 pair of jeans, and I was like, shit, there's going to be a hole in these. We're not cutting them. That is not an option.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just tore it.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
it's the style now, man.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's-
You gotta go.
Now they're $180 jeans.
It's a style.
Hey guys, I got a question.
Okay, let her up.
Gennaro, sorry if I butcher this, Berardi.
That's why I'm not drawing the name, because I just butcher names.
Yeah. I was shore fishing at Canal Lake for walleye and noticed the water level being very low, approximately 2 feet. Have you guys noticed it being low? And if so, why is this happening?
It's the Trent Severn who runs the water levels. I thought Rice was, the current was moving pretty good in the Otonabee.
Rice is
It-
up.
It was up. I imagine somewhere. What's the Codge like? Even though
You know,
it
like
was a
maybe
high?
a month ago, it was like super low. I'm talking 2 feet low, and now it's high. So
It's the Trent
It-
Severn
it's-
rod and
which
the
was
super
system
low?
running.
Shamong and Pigeon and all
Yeah.
that was really, really low about a month
Yeah.
ago, but now it's come right back up, and I think it was even higher than it should be.
They
Yeah.
do this because probably the last 4 years we've had huge runoffs in the spring and flooding.
Bad flooding.
And then this year we didn't have it, so they were probably being overly cautious to try to hold some water back so that they could fill a lake up, and then it didn't come.
Inexperience. That's what I heard.
Yeah?
Well, because the guys that used
I
to
didn't
do
wanna
it
say it.
are all retired now.
That would make
so
sense.
it's new guys now that are taking over the helm, and I guess maybe the experience isn't there. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's factual or not, but
Well, you let 200 million gallons of water.
oh, that's a shit ton of water, man. I worked up in Apsley the other day, and that amount of water coming down Burley Falls was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that'd be on the Trent Severn too, right?
Yes.
Still? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just they've got, Canal was probably where they were going to dump the water at some point, and they never came. But I'm sure within the next month they'll get her figured back out. It does hurt the spawning though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
But with the water levels, they really got to watch the water levels because they let the water all the way down in Lake Ontario. It runs into the St. Lawrence, and then we flood out the states.
Isn't
They shut us right off.
Isn't Canal the breaking point? Everything north or whatever of
I
Canal
don't know.
goes
I've never fished
towards
Canal.
Georgian Bay, and the other stuff goes to the Great Lakes.
I think so.
I think it's Canal. I could be wrong.
I think so.
I'm probably wrong, but
I think so.
I think it's right around that area where it
But
goes one way or the other.
You really don't want your lake too low going into the season because now you start to get warm, you get that evaporating water, and it gets even worse, right?
Well, the fish to go shallow too to spawn. Anything that's going to spawn early, and then when the water level recedes, the eggs become exposed.
Exactly.
Right? Panfish, especially. I would think pike spawn early. I don't quote me on that. I'm not a
Yeah, pike
biologist.
spawn. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
early. Yeah,
early.
Yeah.
Muskie.
Yeah, pike spawn before walleye.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good question. Keep them flowing, people. Where do you want? Oh, crappie fishing. We went crappie fishing.
We did.
We took your right-hand man, Donald.
Yeah. Good old Donald.
Probably the funniest guy in the world.
He's a character.
He's one hell of a fisherman.
He's been a really hard-working guy too.
You know what? He didn't say very much. He put an absolute smackdown on the back of the boat.
Yeah.
He kept telling me that's why you're on TV. But when he did talk, man, he's funny.
Yeah.
And we let the first time this year we let the boat just snap.
Oh yeah, he loved it.
Yeah, he had the phone out and the arms up like the Titanic.
Yeah.
we let her rip at the end of the night for Donald.
Yeah.
Right on.
No, he loved it.
Yeah, he is.
We had a
funny
great
guy.
time.
Yeah,
he
he's a
is
good
a
guy.
funny guy. I like those kind of trips. Like
And he doesn't do a lot of fishing, right? So
nobody. He was. I mean,
he used to. He used to. We met through fishing. Actually, we met on the internet on a fishing site.
He would tangle the snot out of my
Was
rod.
it a dating site?
Yeah, plenty of fish.
He would. He was a goer too. He'd catch about 100 bluegill. Then he would tangle the snot out of the line, and then he'd sit down in the boat, giggle, and talk to himself, retie, and then go right back to it. But he was just pounding the snot out of fish.
Yeah.
Having just a blast of a day.
Yeah, no, he had a great time.
We did. Have
What
an
were
excellent
you
time.
guys? You guys were on the front of the boat?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were
Doing
filming, catching fish.
You know,
catching
out.
fish?
singing songs.
We really could have
Catching
turned
fish, or
yeah.
was he
Well, we
catching
caught
fish?
fish.
No, we all caught fish. We all caught a ton of fish. I caught
But
the
Donald,
biggest
Mark
one.
and I were spending more time like talking and not paying attention. Donald was in the zone.
Oh yeah.
He gave no thoughts to what we had to talk about. He would just fish, catch them, make some wise ass comment, and then go back to fishing. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was fun.
The where else? Hold on, let me look.
I
at
got
these.
another question.
Oh, go ahead. I love questions.
Kevin Donnelly wants to know how come you don't like Babe Quinny. P.S. Walleye are hitting now.
Why don't I like the Bay of Quinny? I like the Bay of Quinny for bass. Here's the opening day in the Trent. The night before there was a huge windstorm which dirtied the water, and they weren't gonna. As soon as we got there and we put the boat in the water and I looked down, I knew we weren't gonna catch fish. Right, I knew that it was dark enough and there was enough current that when you whipped your jig up, even if there was a fish lunging at it, by the time it hit the ground again, he couldn't see it. He couldn't walleye really like this, like up and down, and they will follow that thing. And lots of times, if you're really on them, you'll hook them all the time in the bottom of the jaw.
Now, typically, you'll find walleye
I heard something
hitting
about that.
cleaner water, right?
Cleaner water. I'll bet you right now they're hitting for sure, and I'll guarantee you there was probably more fish there opening day. It's just now they can see.
Do you know why he hit him in the bottom of the jaw?
Why?
This is something else I heard. Not fact, I'm not sure, but They like that walleye like to smother the bait.
Absolutely, totally. So they come
So-
in. I've watched them on my
Yeah.
Aquavision. So if you're going like this, they come in like this, right? And you're moving down, and they'll actually back up to get her in line. But most of the time, they're trying to get over it, right? And then they pin it, and
Yeah,
then you
they like to
you hit 'em
smother
up.
it.
And that's what goes on. In those fish those ones that you get like deep down, like that whale it, it's on the fall, on the
Yep.
slack line. That's why it's really important. If if you really want to get into the vertically jigging, I recommend 10-pound J braid, and I believe they make it in like an ultraviolet green. So and it works great for drop shotting too, because then you can watch your line.
Yeah.
And you can see that you'll see in that braided line like that
Little
like tick, and just set the damn hook.
Yeah.
But we went through on the vlog how important it is.
With
to
a fluorocarbon leader too, right?
Yes, fluorocarbon leader is key. And I tied us on 6-pound because I knew 99% of the time for walleye I'd use 8-pound, but I knew that river was going to be ultra pressured, so we dropped her down to
And
6.
You know what was funny? I had an 8-pound leader on my rod, and he was smashing them, and I wasn't. And as soon as I switched over to the 6-pound leader,
Start getting
all the
finished.
difference in the world, man.
Really?
Well, I started getting some fish, and then we had to switch rods because I'm like, it's the elite rod, man.
I was using
It's
that.
the elite rod. He's like, it's not the rod,
I
man.
didn't
I'm like,
think-
oh,
how
it's
could
the
it be the
rod.
rod?
He's like, I'm just really, really good at this. I'm like, give me the goddamn rod. He's like, here, take the rod.
I don't think you had it in your
Yeah, he
hand.
gave me the
I don't
rod.
think he had it in his hand for 20 seconds. He had a fish.
Yeah, right away. Boom, first drop, bang, walleye.
That's an
Really,
amazing
yeah?
rod.
Yeah,
that is like it's Daiwa Elite
Andy Montgomery.
7.3 medium action rod. I think it's Andy Montgomery.
Yep.
It's got carbon fiber guides on it.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
the
pretty
dopest thing.
sweet looking
Oh,
Oh,
rod.
dude,
buddy.
it's amazing.
It's light. It's just the action to it. You can tell. I had a medium rod. He had a medium rod, but just the Elite Series rod. There's just something
Super light. I
about
had
it.
a
Yeah, it's
3,000 Tatua reel on it too. Amazing.
Why so big?
For the 3,000?
Yeah.
Do you want? Well,
I think it's preference.
it's
no,
got a
between the
little more
2500
line.
and
I
3000.
believe that the 2,500 and the 3,000 are the same body size. The only difference is the spool is a little bigger.
Yeah.
If Crothers is probably watching this to critique my Daiwa information, I'm 99% sure he can put it in the comments.
You can get a better cast, I think, off the 3000.
You can. I'll
right?
tell you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
here. So let me tell you. If any of you folks ever watch the vlogs where I go Malibu jig fishing for smallmouth bass, a 3,000 size reel is the utmost importance. So if you let's say everybody, there'll be guys at home and going, nope, cast my 7-footer with my 2,000 or 2,500 series. I will guarantee you, if you get a 7.6 spinning rod, medium action, right? You tie your leader, your fluorocarbon leader, so it never goes into your guides. That's important too, because that
Yeah.
knot's going to stop the friction. But if you take a 3,000 size spinning reel, and I mean jam the line on it so that it's almost falling off, like you're going to put, when you stop and you're like, that's a full spool, give her another 20 turns, right? And you can take a 1/8, 1/16, 1/32 ounce Malibu jig. And with that longer rod and that bigger arbor on the spool, you won't even believe how much farther it'll cast. And that makes
Right.
all the difference sometimes, right? Like,
Oh, for
especially if
sure.
you're like marabou jig fishing, you're using like a tiny little crappie jig for giant smallmouth. It works really good on clear lakes. So you need to get that as far away from the boat as you can. And all you're going to do as soon as it hits the water, you just reel it in.
Yeah, because those smallies see it's
Yeah, you're
game
just
over.
swimming
Right?
it, right?
Oh my
You're
God!
just swimming it. You're not jigging it off the bottom.
Nothing.
You're just swimming.
If you, and here's the thing, I will tell you right now, the biggest tip I can give you if you're going to try this summer, and if you live on a clear lake, it is absolute dynamite. You would think that that bait's pretty small. I will guarantee you, a big smallie sees it, he will shit bricks. Like they just,
Yeah.
for some reason, they have to eat it. It's like an opportune. If you see him coming,
Look at the Ned rig the last couple of years.
oh, for
Yeah.
sure. If you this is the best tip, and I saw this at I went to a bass university as a guest of Ike's in Toronto, and Seth Fighter talked about this, and I had the you see them coming, and your first reaction is to stop that bait and kind of jig it, right? And I've done that a million times, and I will tell you, every single time you do this, that smallmouth will turn.
Gone.
The best thing you can do, and I learned this from Mr. Fighter, is you slow down your retrieve, right? And as it gets closer to the boat, just slow it down. But do whatever you do, do not stop retrieving on that, because he'll turn. That thing will grab that, a foot from your rod tip. But if you stop and try to jig it or do anything, he will not bite it.
Yeah, because I don't know how many times we've had smallies come right up beside the boat as soon as you're
Oh,
pulling
they
it
don't
out of
care.
the water. Same with a pike, boom, right
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of the
yeah.
water, right?
As soon as you
Yeah.
get them focused on something,
Yeah.
it's like they almost don't see the
You ever
boat.
had a fish hit just a bait that's dangling over
Oh my
your
God!
boat?
No, I know. Okay, I got a story for you. Lloyd Dom. This was years and years ago. Lake Ontario. They reeled in a Chinook, and you know how like on a charter boat, the spoon is like slapping on the top of the water. Out front of Port Hope, giant muskie took it.
Really, eh?
They landed the fish, it was bigger than 45 inches. It was like and I want to say it was a 50, but it was a giant. And he grabbed her like the spoon smacking on top of the water out in the middle of Lake Ontario, and I guess it just crushed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Danny McGarry got a really nice muskie last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Did
yeah, yeah. We were walleye fishing there, hooked into him, and it was a monster.
I missed one.
They
on Saturday.
tend to be in the same area.
Oh, they're eating those
They're eating
walleye.
them.
Oh
Yeah, they're
boy,
eating them right up.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like a buffet.
Yeah.
I wonder if that slowed the walleye down, fishing down. You think a muskie in the area during this time of season is going to?
I've
affect the
I've
fishing?
totally been fish tournaments where I knew the bass were there, and you would pluck one off one at a time, and then 20 minutes down the road you'd see a big muskie chase your bait, or you'd hook them. I totally think that.
I don't think it stops the walleye from eating.
No,
That's
I
what
don't
you're
think it
asking.
stops the walleye from eating, but it stops the walleye from coming off the bottom. There's safety in numbers, so they'll group together, right? Especially small walleye. A great big female, she doesn't care, right? Like an 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pound female doesn't. There's no way he's going to eat her. Those males of the 10 to 18 inch, they're like prey, man.
Yeah.
Like they're like
Good pickings.
they're like gazelles on the savannah, right?
Yeah.
So they don't want to come up, and that's why you always get. It's the same thing. So like this is how it works. You know when you like hook a fish, and then all of a sudden you get a muskie grab onto it or a
Yeah.
pike grab onto
Yeah.
it. It's kind of like zebras. Zebras, like a whole bunch of them together, camouflage. They can't. A lion can't tell one zebra from the next. But as soon as you take one out, he's the target.
Yeah.
The same thing with walleye. When he bites your bait, or if he comes up, he's now the target. As soon as he bites your bait, he just looks like a wound, like he's prey.
It's kind of like when we're bear hunting. I just got to be faster than Marley.
Yeah,
Exactly.
totally.
That's it.
So I think it'll slow them down. I think they'll eat. They're opportunistic. They got a brain like a brain the size of a pea. If there's something to eat there, they're going to eat it. But I think it will slow them down, except for the big ones. The big ones don't care. I've seen on my aqua view, like going over rock piles where there was like 3 big walleye, 2 giant smallmouth, and like a gigantic muskie hanging out all together. But there's no, we're all eating the same thing here, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
For sure. So there's no reason to be nervous.
I got another question.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think the walleye are late to spawn this year? Steve Shaw is asking. He's seeing more in rivers. He wants to know your
They're
thoughts
always
on
in the-
water temps or climate related, and he thinks late ice.
It was definitely a late year. The water in the river was 55 degrees on Saturday. The water in the lake was 65 degrees. That bigger fish that I caught Saturday morning certainly was full of roe.
Yeah.
There's no, like, it had a belly
It had
on
a
it.
big
Like,
belly,
it was full of roe. There's no way it was eating like that. I think that fish
Did
is
you catch
pre-spawn.
a bunch that were like all scarred up, like
No.
spawning? No.
No, they look great.
So
And there's
Yeah,
a,
they were all
like,
clean fish.
you know what? Here's the telling point. I fished that river, and usually by the Tuesday of the opener, that river you're down to slim pickings. I'm planning on going there tomorrow night, so if there's still a pile of them in there, I'm going to say they haven't spawned.
I think the morning bite's the ticket there, man.
I caught them real good in the evening. Big
Yeah?
ones, too. It is a morning thing, but I think it was like opening morning thing deal. You just got to be on them, right? Like, it takes a long time to really get good at river fishing. Like I've had, like, Marley really was good. P. Fierro, I went with him one time on opener, and he really showed me some stuff. And it's really all about getting that line to move the exact same speed as that boat. Even if you noticed up, I hardly hook bottom at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, as soon as you got it going
Yeah.
up and down, even
And we were
if you-
watching all the fish on the graph.
on the
We're watching
graph.
on the
Even
graph.
if you drop, like, you're moving at like a mile and a half. Even if you drop into a tree, you're going to come out the same hole. You don't snag. As soon as you get this bow, and if you have a bow, let's say you're 20 feet of water, you got 35 feet of line out. When you pull, you think you're pulling up, but basically what you're doing is dragging your bait forward because you have a big bow in your line, right?
Yeah.
This is what they need. Even when you're ripping hair, folks, if you're on a weed line and you're going to rip some hair, the key to ripping hair is to snap it hard enough, not that you jump it, that you get it to go up and land almost in the same spot. And then up and almost in the same spot. And that's why you only need, you don't make long casts. No. You cast 20 feet and you're just inches. You're moving inches. And that walleye will be over there and he'll look and he'll come over and that's what he's going to do. He's going to come over like this. Right? And he's going to look, and he's going to look, and he's going to look, and he's going to try to get as close to it as possible, and then he's going to hammer on it. And most of the time, you either hook walleye. Again, on hair jigs, is you get them on the upturn, or you get her on, like, he just drills her on the down.
I like straight 10-pound braid on the hair jig.
I do, too.
Me too.
That's my deal.
Yep.
I really like to cut those weeds when I get them because you're fishing the thick chunk, right?
Now, when you're hair jigging, is it you're just doing one snap?
What do you mean? Yeah, always. Just one. I just want up, down, down.
Really, I always go.
Oh, yeah, I guess that works. It's all what
you're different.
It's all what you're
sometimes I'll do
comfortable with. What do you guys want to do? We're more than halfway through the show. There's a ton of people watching. You want to do that giveaway?
You want to do the giveaway? Rochambeau. Time for Rochambeau live. Let's do it. You ready?
I totally forgot about the
I'm
giveaway.
going first.
Yeah? You're
How
going
about
first.
you guys all line up and I do it?
Okay.
What?
Who's picking it?
You guys line up and I'll kick everybody. See who stands.
Sean, you're going to pick it?
I'm going to shake it.
I'm not picking it. I'm not reading that name because I'll mess it up. Sean, you going to mark?
We're going to let our guest Mark Hunter.
Okay, here we go. This is for the Daiwa FearFishing prize pack.
Oh, this is
Did
exciting.
you bring it down?
No, it's upstairs.
Oh.
If you, I will try to email you, but if you're the winner, message me. Just send me your address and we'll get that in the mail right to you. Big thanks to Daiwa Canada for coming through. They're amazing people.
Big thanks to FearFishing.
So what's all the prizes here?
There's now you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
I believe there's 4 FearFishing t-shirts. There's some here that we're going to do some more giveaways with of the final apparel company stuff. There's 3 decals, 1 big one for your boat, 2 small ones for your truck.
You got a custom hat in there somewhere?
There is a Daiwa FearFishing flap rim, and what is the grand prize is the Daiwa vest. It's straight from Japan. Like
Daiwa.
there probably couldn't be 5 of them in North America.
Right.
Like it's straight from Japan.
You're going to get noticed.
You're gonna be the only guy who's got
where'd
one.
you get that?
Sweet.
I never
Where'd you
seen
get that?
another one.
I wish it fit me.
Yeah, it's big on you. Yeah, and if you're under 6'4" and 220 pounds, it's gonna fit you like a gem. Because it's just, if it fit me, it's such a nice vest that if it fit me, we would not be giving it away.
Right. All right, let's get this done.
Let's do this.
All right.
Are you ready for this?
Hey, whoa.
Well,
thanks to everybody who joined in on and shared posts. I can't express to you enough how much people sharing FearFishing posts matters to this whole thing. Without people sharing contests and sharing vlogs and liking photos, this wouldn't be happening. So I want to thank everybody out there who took time to share. Some people entered like 9 times.
That's cool.
And tag more people. And there was people who said they shared the video and the post every day. So this, I tell you that we really like making a podcast and we really like making vlogs and we really like bringing you information. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people watching and people sharing and people liking and it's been overwhelming. The YouTube channel has been just growing like crazy. So we can do giveaways like this because you guys share.
That's right.
And it's nothing to do with us. It's because you guys care enough to share and take part in what we're trying to do.
And there's going to be more of these giveaways too, right?
Well, I will milk those good people at Daiwa for everything they got.
Right? All right, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Baby
Okay,
face.
don't look.
Baby face
You ready?
is ready.
You ready?
Don't look.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. You're dead.
Get in
Go
there.
deep.
Okay, yeah, I'm not.
Get in
Well, you guys aren't on camera.
I'm not looking.
Oh, not on camera?
Oh, there it is.
There
We're
we
like
go.
halfway. You got one?
You got one? Let me see.
No.
That's
Okay,
one.
hold on.
That's,
I want to look for. I want to be the first to look.
wanna
I
look?
picked it.
Let me.
It's blank.
No.
Our winner is Kevin Van Dam.
Oh, Kevin! Wow.
We have Mr. Josh Malinuk. Malinuk?
That's my handwriting if you can't read it. Josh!
Congrats, my man.
Congratulations. Wow.
And second place, if there was one.
Mike
was
Iconelli.
You can all do me a huge favor.
Look at all those.
That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, you got to come up with a better.
Yeah. If anybody out there knows how to run a better contest, here, let's show the camera. Like,
There's got to be like.
I hand
Let it rain,
wrote
ballots,
all those.
man. Let it rain.
In there.
There has to be a
Matt
better way to do
Rotherman's
this.
in there. Tyler Kionga, Jake Cooper. Like,
It was
you
crazy.
got a lot of names.
I
in
wrote
there.
a lot of names. So we will no longer be Ian handwriting these out on the day of the contest.
No, that'll be given
It'll
to me,
be
I'm
Amber.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody come up with a better way
We
to
need
do
an
this.
intern.
Hard no.
The congratulations, Josh. That is
Awesome.
Congratulations. Send me your information, and I will send that to you.
Mike works with his dad,
No way.
Mike Gray.
Oh, yeah? Sweet.
Oh, wait, congratulations.
Sweet. Right on.
Well, if he works with his dad, Mike Gray, come pick it up, and you can take it to him, so he doesn't have to wait on the mail.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully the vest fits him.
If not,
Is he a big boy or a little boy? What does it got to be? Is it a big vest or a little vest?
it's like a medium.
It's a Japanese double X.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will tell you, the good people in Japan are not 6'4" and 220 pounds. Double extra large. Where do you want to go now? What do you want to talk about now?
Let's
Mark!
talk about this week.
Oh, Mike, no,
Oh, yeah.
whoa.
Whoa.
Let's talk. We just did this, which is exciting news.
Yep.
Mark, you're on Team Ontario.
I am.
You're
I
gonna
was
fish.
always on Team
All
Ontario.
right.
Yep. I was the alternate boater. I needed somebody to
No,
drop
listen.
out.
We
But
were,
now
you're officially on.
I am
you were
officially fishing the event.
you were there.
Woo!
Congratulations,
Oh, yeah,
Mark.
buddy.
So, like a month today, I'll be leaving for South Carolina.
Super excited.
Here,
Yeah.
take that with you.
Me too.
Good luck.
Let's say we never gave you any support. That's super exciting. Are you pumped?
Oh, I'm really pumped. You know, I've always treated it like I was fishing, been watching videos, reading articles, scanning.
Yeah,
Google
right away you started
Maps.
doing your research.
Yeah,
eh?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You really took this serious.
So I feel like I am prepared. You know, you can do all the reading in the world, watching all the videos until you get to the actual body of water. I don't know how much that's worth, but it's got.
Oh no, I totally get that with
Yeah.
going down to fish with Team Canada on Lake Okeechobee this year.
Yeah.
I spent 3 weeks just studying
Yeah, I
that
know you
body
did.
of water.
Yeah.
And then there was nothing like actually having the time on the water.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
totally get where you're
For
coming
sure.
And it's tidal water too, and we just don't have tidal water.
No.
Tidal water's tough, eh?
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Yeah. It's
People
not
will
known to be
people
a
will
great fishery.
It's
It's
not.
a timing deal.
Yeah.
Have you done very well at Quinny? Quinny has got like a bit of a. I'm not gonna say it's a tide. I'm gonna say it's a surge. Like Quinny would be the closest thing I can think of. Like
That would make sense.
If you fish past the Deserano Bridge, you will notice the surge. I think you will. I've
Like an
noticed
up and
the surge.
down.
Yes, like a backfill and an out.
Paul Jackson, Mark wants to know how many Senko rods you will have rigged up.
Will we bring in 36?
I will have a Senko rod rigged
You
up.
know what? There,
Just
it's,
one?
It's quite possible that he'll
Probably
bring,
two.
the next year he may design the Daiwa Senko rod after this event.
Yeah. The Elite Series.
The Elite Series.
You
The
know what?
Mark Hunter
Some of the stuff
Senko.
I've been reading is,
The
you
Team
know,
Ontario?
worm baits are pretty hot down there. So there's definitely going to
Senko's
be
not a
one or
worm.
two.
A worm has a curly tail,
Okay, well,
not a
a
Senko.
stick bait.
This
Is that better?
This is a
Just
Senko.
call it a Senko.
This
Yeah.
is not. a
But I
worm.
use the dingers. I use the dingers because they're cheaper. And so am I.
That's brutally honest right there. That's as real as you get,
Totally.
guys.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I've
Yeah.
I've totally been there when I was when I buy pike swim baits. I go 4 for $7.99 or 5 for $8.99
Right?
or 6 for $4.99. Winner.
Yeah. You know, like a pack of Senkos here, like Gary Senkos are $10, $11, right, for a pack of 10.
Sometimes 12.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to talk.
So now,
This is not on
young dingers are $3.49 for 10. So you do the math.
You want to do math? It's
No.
not on our board.
You know what's on our
How
board?
about those gas prices in Ontario?
Oh my God! You know, I heard people say they're calling me and say, "Oh, you know, you got to get gas. It's $1.28. Go get it." Like, who gets excited about 128? Like, that
Today it
is
was 126
brutal.
in Port Hope.
That's brutal, though. If we're getting excited about that, something is wrong.
How when you guys started driving, how much was gas?
45 cents.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
You're
It was
that
probably
old?
cheaper than that.
The
I don't
cheapest
really
I ever
remember.
paid for gas in my whole life, 76 cents. I'm quite a bit younger than the rest of you.
I used to fill my bike up for like $3,
Some people.
and that would last me 3 weeks.
Wow.
You guys like spinner baits?
Yeah,
That's a good looking spinner
that
bait.
is a very good look.
Sharp hook. I almost dug it right
Yeah.
into my finger. Gas is outrageous. I saw gas last week for premium gas to put in my boat for $1.61 a liter.
We get hosed here in Ontario by our government
Yeah.
so bad.
By everything.
Like super hosed. They say they're not gouging us.
They're
bullshit.
gouging us.
We're paying like, well, what is it, $4.98 a gallon?
Yeah, it's,
And in the States,
that's
they're
at
paying like
that's at
$2.31?
$1.30.
It's obvious they gouge us because the price is one price in the morning, and then at night it's different, like 10 cents difference.
Yeah.
So it's not going up by the hour.
That's not gouging,
That is huge gouging.
right?
They can't deny it. I don't get it. I don't
But
get it.
there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
I know something we need to talk about right now.
Do you?
Sean, you fished on Danny McGarry's boat.
Yesterday.
What does he have on the front of it?
You want to get into this?
We're gonna have to talk
I'm
about
going to
this.
tell you.
Hey, whoa! Before this is kind of game changing stuff. If you're looking to catch more fish, Sean's going to bring something up that's going to help you. He's
On the
got
front of Danny
serious-
McGarry's boat.
Cooper?
Danny McGarry's brand new boat. No, Cooper already went home. It was Mother's Day. You know Cooper and his mom. He had to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Ah, that
No,
was the best.
he's got the Garmin with the pan optics on the front.
Wicked.
And I tell you, this pan optic system
Yep.
is, if you haven't fished with pan optics on the front of your boat, or somebody's boat, you got to get out there. You got to check this thing out.
I
It
fished
is
with-
unreal.
I fished with two guys who had it on their boat. I've used Lowrance products since I've had boats, I believe. I don't think I've ever owned a Humminbird, but after seeing the pan optics and deciding going to fish tournaments again, I got to figure out a way to get it on the front of my boat.
I'm telling you, buddy, it'll be worth it night and day. It'll
It-
be
like,
this.
in-
It's a game changer. I think
I
it's
think
a
in
total
order
game
to
changer.
compete,
Garmin's mountain charges, eh?
Buddy, I'm telling you, I was pitching out in front of me, letting that line drop, and I'm just like, whoa! And you could see the fish, boom, come right in real time, like.
Yeah.
But you could see the fish. You could see how they're acting. Like it was.
Would you describe it as like kind of like a flasher almost?
It kind of
No.
looks like
No way.
ultrasound.
Yep.
It's
yep.
like an ultrasound.
Yeah. Once you throw a bait down and you see something move for the first time in front of it, you know what's up with it. You can totally tell what's up
And
with
you
that.
can see your
and
bait,
you can
too.
read it easily. Yeah.
I don't think I have a choice, but this is just one of those things that you got to get on your boat.
You got to put it on your boat.
I
man.
don't
You
think-
gotta.
My plan is
I'll be upset if you don't put one.
I'm
on the
gonna
front
hunt
of your
one
boat.
down somewhere,
Nobody
get it
wants
on the
Sean
front of the
upset.
boat, and for
Upset
this
Sean's
year
bad, Sean.
I'll use my Lowrance for my side scan and my mapping and my. But I don't think that I think that having pan optics on the bow of your boat if you're going to compete is
Dude, you should
a
be
must.
using Garmin for your mapping too, because they're
Well, let's not get
industry
crazy.
leaders.
I got
They
some
are.
questions.
Sure.
Hey, go right ahead. We got some answers.
Do you guys use bucktail jigs? And if so,
Like
which
hair
fish
jigs?
do you recommend for?
Oh, bucktail jig, walleye,
Walleye.
smallmouth bass. In the right circumstances, largemouth will take them on weed edges.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm always smashing large.
You know, I've even got smaller ones for crappies.
That's what we talk about ripping hair. Like we call
Ripping
them
hair.
hair
That's
jigs,
what we
right?
call them, hair
Yeah.
jigs.
Yeah, we call them hair jigs, but bucktail jigs, same
Yeah,
thing.
same deal.
My favorite color, you want to know?
I'm a big fan of the big gems. I have a whole bunch of big gems.
Black and yellow.
I really
Black
like
and
them.
yellow, black
I
and
like-
yellow,
I
black and
like
yellow, black and yellow.
Black and silver.
You know, Big Jim's still tying those like crazy.
I know
Yeah,
he's the
yeah.
man.
He does a wicked job.
He does.
dude.
I really like them.
Huh?
I bet you if we went into the console of my truck right now, and please don't break into it tonight because I'm going to like to use them. There's probably 5 of them still in their pack sitting in my console.
You know what, Tony?
I know where I'm
It's
stopping
one
on
of
the way out
those
of here.
things. It's one of those things. We talked about this the other day. Here's how I bulk up the stuff that I know I'm going to use. I'm going to use every time I go to the fishing store. I buy a pack of quarter-ounce chartreuse jig heads
Yes, sir.
because I know I'm going to lose a ton.
I went
on
through a
opening
whole
weekend.
pack yesterday.
Hair jigs is something I would buy every second trip. You know, $4. You know, get one, throw it in your box. And I really think that as much as winter sucks, it's a great time of year to, collect boxes, right? But to get bulk up on your tackle, right?
That's funny because that's what you were saying to me. I was like, oh, Ian, I didn't get a chance to get any jig heads. And he looked at me and he's like, dude, what do you think I do all winter?
Yeah.
I stock up all winter. He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, look at this. He opens it and there's just a pile of stuff.
Well,
like,
and that's the big thing. And with the RML box, you're it's the same
the
kind of deal,
RLM box,
right? It's the same kind of deal, right? You want to get stuff, but it becomes like everybody really likes tackle, right? I'm not so much like a complete gearhead where I buy everything on the planet, but I really like to have a lot of what I use. And, if you think about going to buy jig heads and 20 hair jigs and then filling the boat up for $200 and then putting $100 in gas in the truck, it's way easier through November to April to collect.
Yep.
What you're going to need.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Understand. Agreed. Yep.
Right? I like. I just called Tony Steinfeld.
He makes a wicked hair jig, man.
I really like his flipping
the paint,
jigs.
yeah, the paint on his stuff.
I'm a real big fan
unparalleled.
of Tony's hair jigs. So
That's an art, eh?
I call and I order, everything I'm going to need in, I did a little late this year, but usually it's like a January deal. And then by the end of January, you paid your jigs off, right? And then you go on to your next thing. Maybe you need 2 spinning reels. So not like, rather than getting it all at once and being like, oh my God. Like I used to do that when I was younger. I used to go to the Bass Pro Shop, get the Visa out, drop $4,000, and then be like, oh, well, what are you doing?
Right to the nuts.
Right? And the next day, Visa's calling me, and they're like, you're going to take some of that back? And I'm like,
No,
not
ain't
happening.
happening.
Who are you, my mom?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what are we talking about? Let's talk about this weekend.
I got
Wait,
some.
Whoa.
All right,
Jack-
all right.
Yep.
Too
Right.
late. We're right there.
Jack Bell is asking what your personal bests are for largemouth bass and smallmouth bass. And then he asked me too, but I got to say I haven't caught one.
I couldn't tell you. Honest to God, I never kept track of my personal best.
No?
Really?
Never. I know I've probably never caught a largemouth over 6 pounds.
My best largemouth
No, that's
is
not true.
597,
The biggest one I weighed in the tournament is probably like 5'8", 5'9".
and my biggest
Largemouth?
my biggest smallmouth 6'3".
The biggest smallmouth I ever caught, I do know this one. It is one of the very first Fear Fishing videos. 6'8" from Lake Erie. Marley's biggest one is that one right there.
Lake St.
Whoa.
Francis.
I was there.
That's a
I saw it.
My biggest largemouth is 7'1".
Whoa.
Yeah.
Kentucky Lake?
Kentucky Lake.
Lake, yeah.
Fishing with Danny McGarry and Cooper Gallant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were down there. They were practicing. And my biggest smallie, 16. No, it's a low 6. I can't remember if it's 6'2".
I think I've caught largemouth over 6 pounds. I never weigh anything. Like, I'm not a personal best guy. I don't really keep track of numbers. If we pounded on them, we pounded on them. If we got nothing, we got nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm not somebody who would like drag one. Well, we're filming too, right? And I hate handling the fish over too much, right? Like I caught one in Brighton Bay one time that we weighed in. Okay, so he had to be over 6 because he was weighed in 2012 at the Big Bass Championship, and he was 5'9" there, and I caught him 2 years later, and because he had a tag on his back. I called it in. They told me he had to be over 6 pounds.
Oh, I was gonna ask you. You had 2 years.
2 years.
He was over 6.
You knew that if he was wearing a name tag.
You know what the best part of that fish is he was in like the really thick cane. So I flipped in like the 1.5 ounces with the creature bait.
Oh, I love that stuff.
And when I stuck the hook to him, that's probably my favorite way to largemouth fish is the thing I get to do the least. But when she goes through that cane and you feel that tick and you said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, you're
I
going
hate
in
even-
for it sometimes too.
Now that we've opened this can of worms, my ADHD is going to be the worst for the next, 5 weeks. There's absolutely nothing better than flipping into cane and getting that tick on the way down.
Buddy, I'm usually standing in my driveway right now. I'll set stuff up around the lawn, and I'll be pitching the stuff on the lawn. People are driving by, and they're just like,
Yeah, I
"What
do
is
that.
this guy
You
doing?"
know, so I think rather than remembering how much a fish weighed, I remember like certain fish. They weren't always the biggest, but they did something really weird. I remember one time we talked about this. Rice Lake, Marley and I had I'm going to say 14 pounds. We had 2 big ones and 3 dinkies. And we, on the way back, stopped at this row of docks, right? Row of docks. And it's the nicest dock on Rice Lake. And I'm not going to tell you where it is because Sean and I are going to need it this summer. And it has the nicest pontoon boat on it. But the difference is this dock has the nicest guy who owns it. And he does not care that you fish it at all. And he comes out and he'll actually be like, I hope you guys had a great day. So he comes out on his veranda. We'd seen him the tournament before, and he was talking to us. I flip into the dock. And this is going to be a great tip for everybody at home who's going to fish docks this summer, right? And as soon as my jig hits the bottom, it goes screaming out. And I set hook on the opposite side of my boat. That's how fast he hit.
Wow.
Landed like a 3.5. And as soon as I set hook, I said, Marley, get in there. There's another one. Because he's grabbed it and ran away from the fish.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I would tell any of you guys out there,
That's a huge tip.
If you flip in and a fish bites on a dock and he goes out, there's another fish there. And if he goes deeper in, he's the only one. Right? And we're actually going to do a vlog this year on how I dock fish. Because I do it pretty interesting. I really like to fish really fast. And I will show you how to fish a dock at 100, shallow water docks at 100 on your trolling motor. And make sure you get every fish off them. But that's the big thing. And I'll never forget this. It was probably like 245, flipped in there. I got a 3.5, and before I got that fish in the boat, he'd hooked the 4-pounder, and we went from like 2 12-inchers off the side of the boat and 7 pounds added on, and we finished second or third place.
Do you find that second fish is usually the bigger one?
Yes, because he's slower than that small one. I don't care what anybody says. He didn't get. I like to. Here's really really big fish. Aren't the kind to swim around the whole lake chasing bait. They let the bait come to them. They're like, a big guy on the couch, feet up, bag of chips, eating away constantly. Those big, long, skinny fish are the ones you've been chasing bait from dock to dock to dock to dock to dock. They're like me on ADHD, working off that gut all the time. It's the same as salmon. You guys salmon fishing? Really big Chinooks are on the bottom, and those ones you catch up atop, and I'm just doing this in my opinion, are the ones that are chasing bait fish. The ones that are on the bottom are waiting for the meal to come to them. Burning less calories, doing less work, right? Big largemouth are the same way. They find a really good spot. That's why, like, when you find a really good tree, let's say, on a point, or it sticks out and it's adjacent to deep water, there's always bait moving there. And that's why it's always a good tree, because as soon as you pluck that 5 off there, the next 4 and 4.5er moves in to take his place, and then he becomes a 5-pounder right quick, because the bait's coming to him. He's not going to the bait. So the big ones are usually a tad slower, like between a 4 and a 3.5. I'll guarantee you that 3.5, just like a 220-pound guy is probably not going to run the 180-pound guy.
Yeah. I'm not bear hunting with you this week, Mark.
That's a great segue. What are you doing?
You got a question?
Yeah, I did,
No
actually.
way.
I'm sorry. Sean Quinn wants to know how you sleep after completely crushing his pride on Saturday. Sean and Ian.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, Sean, I wish I was there to
rolled
watch
up
your
on Sean.
face.
After I caught about the 4th fish on top of them, Sean looked at me and he said, I would rather shove my dick in a meat grinder than watch you catch another fish.
That was nice to see all the guys on the
It
water.
was.
This
You know what?
weekend,
And I got a whole bunch of messages from people who saw us out there catching fish when we got home. That's super cool. If you guys see us out on the lake, just come on over and say
Oh,
hello.
yeah, every time.
No big deal.
Every time.
Stop, say hello.
Yeah.
Man, we were waving people in to fish with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like Mike Gray and
Yeah.
Sean Quinn, as soon as they came by, we were like, hey,
Yeah,
get over
come
here.
here.
And they were like, oh.
You know what? Sean and Mike and Sean were like, we really don't work on your fish here. We just stopped to say hi, and we were like, no,
We're
come
like,
on in. Yeah.
We're like, you guys aren't going anywhere.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
hanging
come
out.
on
Let's
in.
fish.
Let's talk.
Yeah,
You know?
right on, sweet.
So
Yeah.
it was nice to run into those guys and like have somebody to talk to, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's how we operate on the water. You know what I mean? We're not dicks on the water.
We're
We're
approachable.
all out there to
Yeah.
fish
Yeah.
together. And
I'd be
you
more
know,
than happy.
It's not like we're tournament fishing. That's a different deal. You give a guy his space, let him work his fish. Right?
Yeah.
They're competing for money. That's a totally different thing. But if we're out there and we're just fun fishing,
Or
the more
you
the
know,
merrier.
Even
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we're like, we're in a tournament and you happen to see us, you can stop and,
Oh, yeah.
just don't like come in flying and, cut in on us.
Yeah.
But you can stop and say hello. We'd be more than happy to talk to you.
Oh,
and,
every time.
Tell you what's up on the go. I really like talking. I've worked my whole life to get to this point where people are prepared to talk about fishing to me, especially like complete strangers. Like
Yep.
I've been waiting forever for people, so don't be afraid. Stop, say hello. You know, if I'm having a bad day, I'll tell you. Maybe I can get some information off you.
Hey,
There you go.
it works for me usually.
Yeah. You need the help.
The are we getting to this weekend?
Let's
Oh!
do. Oh no, we're not.
How does Josh pick up his prize pack? They want to know. They're all like looking at how to
Oh.
get it, how to pick it up, who's gonna mail it.
We can mail it.
I think Mike was offering.
Oh, Mike can come get it anytime he wants.
Okay, or we can mail it to you.
Mike just lives in town. Or we can mail it. I don't care. Whatever works for everybody.
Okay, we'll find out what works best.
Why
for
don't you meet him at the
Josh.
creek and do a picture saying, "Hey, this is the guy that won.
Yeah.
Here's a picture."
If he's local,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Sure.
Steve Shaw also asked if you waste time fishing between docks or just focus on the
Yes.
docks
There's
instruction.
not
Yes.
a such thing as wasting time between
Ooh, man.
docks.
So
my
here's
man.
okay. Let's get right into this because I love dock fishing. I'm gonna throw.
We're gonna need
my.
another hour.
I'm gonna throw my. I'm gonna go deep. 3/8 ounce mini flipping jig. Right
I'm going pee.
on the docks. Here, I'm gonna throw to the back
Mark's
corner
good
of
for
the
1
dock.
hour.
I'm gonna throw it to the back corner of the dock because in the back on the corner going to the dock, we're gonna whiteboard this in the summer too. There's gonna be some
Don't
slop
touch me there.
There's a good chance there's gonna be some slop in the back corner, so you're gonna hit there, right? Give it a couple jigs, rip it through that, bring it in, and you're gonna have to clear your weed off. My next cast is going to be halfway up the dock, and I'm started quite a ways back, right? The third cast is going to be at the front of the dock. If it's a really wide front, I'm going to give it 2. And when I get by the dock nose, I'm going to fire it to the back and swim it as fast as I possibly can right down the dock. And if he didn't hit it on the pause, I guarantee you that fish will come out and hammer it when it swims by. And then to the next dock, I'm just going to cast that flipping jig out, hit the water with like a 7.3 high-speed reel, and just like I'm going to make it just a hair under the surface. And you won't believe how many fish between docks you will pick up off rocks or a log.
Well, that's what I'm going to be doing while you're fishing the dock. I'm going to be focusing on everything else around the dock
Yeah.
because I'm not a big dock guy.
I love docks.
You know, I got some work to my dock game to do, and you know, I learned a lot about fishing docks last year with Krista Tosca, and you know,
Shallow docks are a lot different than deep docks, though. I will take time. If I don't know a row of docks, I'll fish them as fast as I possibly can. And if I got one, I'll slow down. If I know, and when we're talking docks, we're not talking big Rito docks where they're in 40 feet of water. The front's in 40 feet and the back end's in 1.5 feet.
Yep.
You really got to work those docks. I'm talking docks that are less than 3 feet deep. I'm going to work those pretty quick because those fish aren't under there living. I really feel like those fish are under there looking for food. So they're going to hit. They're goers. Lots of time you'll see you make that first cast, let's say 10 feet out from the dock and swim back to the boat. You won't believe how many times you watch a largemouth come screaming 20 feet to get a hold of that bait. Right? And why do I swim I'm going to use the trailer on my jig. I'm not going to use, how do we explain this? I'm going to use a trailer when I'm doing fishing docks that kicks. I will use a trailer punching weed that's like a soft one, like the perfect jig, you know, like trail
Like
I'm
a
talking
chunk
about?
kind of thing?
A chunk kind of thing, because
Yeah.
the problem with fishing deep weed with something that kicks is that on its way down, it's going to kick and it's going to swim. If you use like a chunk, it's going to fall where you want it to fall. So if you use that one that kicks, it's not actually landing in the hole that you've casted to.
Yep.
Right? It's into the weed. It's not as effective. And the thing about tournament fishing is, and you know, jig and walleye, it's about being effective. And I talked about this in the blog, that you're better to have your line hit the bottom vertically jigging and get 6 jigs that are perfect than 200 jigs that suck. Reel your line back in and do it again. And it's the exact same thing with, it's just making the most of a cast. If you make 500 good casts is better than 5,000 really bad casts.
that makes good sense.
True.
Right? And if you're learning, it's better to make 200 casts on my 500 cast or 100 casts on my 500
Quality
cast.
over quantity.
Absolutely, because
Every time.
like those fish aren't stupid. Because fish set up to ambush bait in a particular way, and sometimes that fish is under the dock, and let's say the dock's here, cast 1 hits here, and it comes out. Cast 2 hits here and it comes out, and cast 3 hits here and comes out. And then on your back cast, it's because he was looking this way. He never saw your bait.
Now, when you talk about fish setting up a certain way, like we really noticed that when we were pike fishing, because when we were going down the channel, casting ahead of us, we weren't getting bit. When we were going down, we were getting bit. When we were coming back the other way, we weren't getting bit. We'd go back down, we'd get bit. We'd come back the other way, and we're fishing the same area, making multiple casts. Boom, 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 boom. And those fish would only hit with that bait coming that one way. So
what I believe is that we found like for some reason the channel went like...
It was like a swing channel.
Yes, but the current wasn't going through the swing channel.
It was going over the flat.
It was going over the flat. So the wind was blowing us down the channel, and that's when we would get our fish. I assume, because we saw a ton of tiny panfish, that wind was blowing them in, and the pike were facing to watch the bait being blown in.
Yeah.
So when we were pulling our baits back over the head, it was kind of like a reaction strike, because remember, like if your swim bait's coming across, they're going to see it here, right? There's a second to decide if you're going to bite, because it's going to be here in a minute, right?
Yeah.
So you got to go. If you're coming the other way and you're watching it come 50 feet, maybe when it gets 20 feet, you really clue into it just doesn't look right.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? But fish definitely set up into the wind, or, you'll find a really good dock, and you'll always get in the same spot, because that's there's something about the bottom where you can like cock up under here or something that makes that fish that is the prime location, and that's where he's doing his striking. Maybe it's in the morning. It's something as simple as the sun in the shade. And when those bait fish come out of the shade and hit the sun, they can't see for a split second. That makes them easy targets, right?
Well, we noticed that kind of yesterday with the walleye. As soon as the sun started to go down and we got the one shade side from the trees onto the water, as soon as we got into that shade, boom, boom, that's when we started hitting the walleye.
It's and it's like staging Chinooks. If anybody who watched the video of me catching staging Chinooks crankbaiting, there is a period between when the sun goes down, they'll bite really well for a half an hour, and then when it gets dark, there's like a 30-minute period where you won't get anything, and then it'll turn back on. And I honestly believe it takes them 30 minutes for their eyes to adjust so that they can see baits again. You don't need glow in the dark nothing for Chinook.
It's like when you get up in the middle of the night to go to the washroom. You can barely see your way
12
there.
12 times a night.
But when you come back, when you usually come back to bed, you can see, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And I think it just, for instance, takes Chinooks 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to readjust their eyes, and then they can see. Like I've got most of my Chinooks casting at night on like a jointed, big bait.
Rapala?
Yeah, like a J13.
Yeah.
And they can't. It's not glow in the dark, but they can hear it and they can see it. But for that 30-minute period, I've never got a hit. And even when back in my days when I was younger and I ran the salmon charters, I would tell guys as soon as that sun was right down in 30 minutes, I'd be like, just have a pop or a sandwich, because they aren't gonna bite. But I'm telling you, like, give them time for their eyes to adjust, and it's gonna go like they turn on like that.
Yep.
And they just need that time to adjust. And I think this walleye are the same thing, right? There's probably a time period, and I don't walleye fish enough to really notice this, that when the sun gets, maybe at 9 a.m., where the sun gets to a certain level and it hits the water for the first time, like their eyes are reflective, and they just need... the best time to walleye fish right now, I'm telling you, is at noon. It's when that sun is the highest and that water temperature meets its maximum. Those fish are shallow, those fish are biting. It's not always that they're going to bite the best at 6 a.m. this time of year. And a month from now, when that water gets super low and they go off the weed lines into deeper water to spend the days, the times to get them are in the morning when they're up feeding at low light periods. But right now, I'm telling you, don't stop fishing, because noon's probably the best time to get them.
Cool.
Wow.
Can we talk about the weekend now? Amber, do you mind not interrupting for a second?
Yes, sorry.
Give her a go.
There's a lot of questions.
Guess what we're doing this weekend?
We're going bear hunting.
We're going bear hunting. Mike from Hardwoods and Swamps gave me a call this morning.
We were talking last night. Mike,
we talked last night and said, have you heard
like,
from Mike or Darlene?
Mike, is there no bears? What's going on?
Yeah, and then Sure as shit. They called this morning. Mike called this morning.
They got bears up all over that place, don't
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they're on a ton of bears.
That's-
So we've made arrangements. We're going up Friday.
We were going to fish a walleye tournament on Rice on Saturday.
We were. I canceled it.
We could go bear hunting.
Yeah.
they? Wow.
You got to go.
You stick them or rip them. What do you want to do?
I
want to go stick them.
Stick 'em.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Yeah, so
Lots of summer for catching
we're going up the
fish.
hardwoods
Right.
and swamps. We're going to go see Mike and Darlene.
Super pumped.
Yeah, incredible. You know
Ton
what?
of-
It's always a good time there. Even the after hunt part. You know, we hang out with
at the
them and
cabin?
stuff, play
Yeah,
cards
play
or
Are you
cards.
gonna
guys.
bring some Mako shark jerky or?
No.
Oh, no.
Hey, where is that anyway? You didn't throw it out,
I
did you?
did.
Oh,
That
you
was
bastard!
That was terrible.
Worst shop ever.
$30 bag.
Yeah, greatest gift, Mark.
It was.
You guys want
So
to
pumped.
I'm really excited for this weekend's
Me
bear
too.
hunt.
Me too. I wonder how the bugs are.
They're gonna be bad.
I'm bringing a thermosol.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I lost
You
mine the
crazy?
last time I
You
was
don't,
there.
you don't have a thermocell?
I lost it last time we were there.
You suck.
When I was trying to track my bear.
So we're leaving
The one you
Friday.
shot in the dick?
That one.
We're leaving Friday,
Friday, yeah. He said to try to be up there for 2.
and we'll just go until we kill a bear. Somebody kills a bear, or
How
we
many
can-
weeks?
We're never
like,
coming
what do
home.
I, yeah. What do I need to?
Not the truth.
What should I tell your son?
I love him.
him. But
I'm not. I won't shoot a small bear.
I don't wanna
I'll
shoot
only
I
shoot
wanna
a good
ma-
bear.
I
You
wanna
know
shoot
what I
a-
mean?
I really want a good bear. I don't
Yeah.
want a little one. I want a good bear.
I want
Yeah,
an eater.
Yeah.
I want a big bear.
Especially, for somebody with a guide service up there, you a good bear. Like if you're going up for an eater, you want that, 150-pound bear. That's a good bear to eat.
Yep.
But you want that trophy. Don't settle for something you're not going to be happy with. Don't, you know what I mean? Take the time, put the extra time in the
Yeah,
woods.
for
Yeah.
sure.
You know,
I really
make
just like
make
going.
that trophy worth it, right?
Yeah. I'm not a trophy hunter. I'm a meat eater.
I'm a trophy guy.
I wanna-
I know you are.
I like being a trophy
I want
guy.
I want at least one that's going to cover the king size bed.
Yeah. There you go.
Really?
There's one up there, man.
Oh, there is.
Oh,
There's
sure
an
is.
absolute
I've seen
giant
two
up
of them.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
we're gonna
giants.
got one. Final thoughts? Any more questions, Amber, before we do the final thought part of this?
I think somebody asked about your favorite trailer on. Oh shoot, where did it go?
That's why you're supposed to cut in.
Well, you guys were all excited. Oh, what is your favorite trailer for a flipping jig? That was Jack Bell.
I don't know. I use like 7 or 8 different ones. I'm not really tied to one of them. I like ones that kick the most. I'll show you in the summer on a vlog. I can't.
I'd like
even-
to see you draw them on the whiteboard.
I could do that. I could do that. Anything that kicks. I really like whatever bait kicks. I think I got a couple new ones to try out this year, but the biggest paddles I can find is what I like. The ones that I used to use, they don't make anymore that I really, really like. So we're switching brands. I'll let you know where we hit with that one. Mark, final thought.
Final thoughts. My daughter Hannah has danced all her life in competitions, and she's just done her last competition the weekend that just went by, and it's been a huge part of her life. And I really think that she's a better person for it. She's a stronger, more confident person, and I just wanted to tell her how proud I am of her.
Proud of you.
And yeah, you rocked it. You rocked it from day one, girl.
She's a gem.
She
yeah,
is. Good work,
you-
Hannah.
I
We're all
love your
super
daughter.
proud
She's
of
a
you.
sweetheart.
Yeah,
John, final
love you,
thought?
Monk.
Pay attention to the little things on the water. Pick up on all that stuff. I think it's super important to really figure your day out by picking up on little key changes. Like
Yep.
current, the way the fish are setting up. Where your location is. Try
And,
to
and
replicate
the
it.
little things, if you notice the current picked up and then the fish started biting, remember that the next time you go and you're like, why aren't they biting? And be like, oh, there's no current.
You guys take notes?
Right?
Do I
Oh,
take
yeah,
notes?
take notes.
Right there.
Do you take notes?
Do
Yeah,
I
I
take
forgot
notes?
Do you have like a little notepad? I did this on this day on that day.
No, that's why I make vlogs.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I can go back and
Video
you can-
notes?
I can tell you what
I
did
just
last
go
year.
with him when he vlogs.
Amber, you got any final thoughts behind the camera?
Yeah, I got one for you.
What?
The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda.
Oh.
That
No
just
idea.
made me
I read
think.
that in a
You didn't
fortune
get
cookie once.
that?
My final thought is I want to thank you again all so much for sharing everything. I can't even express how much the likes, shares, and comments mean to the overall success of Fear Fishing. If you guys want to see more, keep liking and sharing and commenting. Yes, we remember you can go to simplefishing.com, use the password
.ca.
.ca. Good work, Amber. Way to be on the ball. You can save $10 on your first subscription box using discount code FearFishing. And right now, head over to the CSFL fishing page. They're doing their first live chat ever. We are going there to watch ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you all on the flip side.
Night all.
Bye-bye.